powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. I will give of myself.
I will give of myself.
I will reach out my hand.
I will reach out my hand.
I will use this heart I've been given to take a stand. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolam she'asanu b'tselem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech haolam she'asanu b'tselem Elohim. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. I will fight for the truth.
I will fight for the truth.
I'll stand up for what's right.
I'll stand up for what's right.
I will use this strength I've been given to be a light. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world.
Good evening, good evening. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, as the rabbi I once had the pleasure of working with said, if Jews believed in a super special heaven, those of you here on a beautiful summer Friday night, you alone would have a place in it. But we don't exactly believe that, but I'm still glad that you are here anyway, that we might join together in our evening prayers, this chance to come together in community, this chance to be together for Shabbat. And I see that I forgot to click on the slides. Leslie, would you be so kind to just click on the top there? Excellent. And would you also X out that little window so I don't have to see myself every time I turn around? Thank you very much. This evening, we continue our Demystifying the Service series. If you were with us now almost 2 months ago, you joined when we talked about the choreography, why sometimes we stand, sit, bend, bow, twist in prayer. If you were with us, you might have talked about how the prayers of our tradition fit together. You may have been here when we talked about Reform liturgical innovations. And tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about music. Although, to be honest, I think the entirety of what we want to say is an attempt to answer the question, why don't you just sing my favorite version of this particular prayer? And that's what we're going to try to answer as we go throughout our service. So using the words on the screen or on page 10 in your prayer books, if you are following along with us in sacred virtual community, Cantor Kalix, would you be so kind as to start our service with maybe something that everyone knows and maybe could sing along with to build a sense of community as we start our time together?
I think I can do that.
Fantastic.
Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Shabbat achim kam yachad, hine ma tovu manayim. Shabbat achim kam yachad, hine ma tovu manayim. Shabbat achim kam yachad.
Cantor, Kalix, that was beautiful, and I love starting our service where everyone got to participate. You know, it's been a really long week. I know a lot of people are just feeling stressed out. Maybe something bad happened in the week. Is there maybe a more peaceful, kind of gentle way that we might use these same words to start our service on a different note?
I think I can do that. Hine ma tovu manayim, Shabbat achim kam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, Shabbat achim kam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, Shabbat achim kam yachad. Shabbat achim kam yachad, hine ma tovu manayim. Shabbat achim kam yachad, hine ma tovu manayim. Shabbat achim kam yachad.
I felt like I could breathe my way into Shabbat, to leave some of the week behind, to truly enter into this space. But what if we were to be together this evening and maybe there were people in the community who needed the embrace of an extra special welcome, or to know that everyone is included? Or what if we have a congregation where not everyone is comfortable in Hebrew? Is there maybe a Hine ma tov we could do that has some English included as well?
I think I got you. Open the door. Open your eyes. Open your heart. See what's inside. Lay down your walls. Lay down your walls. Lay down your fears. Lean into love. You are welcome here. Hine ma tov. Hine ma tov. Umanayim. Shabbat achim gam yachad.
All right, I'll be honest. Sometimes we just choose a version of a prayer because we really like it, and that's the one we wanted to hear this week. But more often, when we choose a version of a prayer, it's designed to lift up a certain composer. It's designed to evoke a certain feeling. We don't change things just to discomfort you. when we introduce new melodies, when we choose different tunes for our service, we do so that together we might truly build the sacred space of our prayers. We're going to talk a lot more about those intentional choices. Well, we're not. Cantor Kalix is going to talk an awful lot more about those intentional choices as we go throughout our service this evening. But I invite you to turn with us to page 2 now in our prayer books as I invite forward 3 generations of the Lushinsky and Markowitz families to kindle the lights of Shabbat. Words of our Shabbat evening candle blessings can be found on page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. And friends, as we turn to page 5 in our prayer books, we find words of Kiddush recognizing the sanctity and the sweetness of Shabbat. If it is comfortable for you to do so, we would invite you to rise physically. Otherwise, we invite you to rise in spirit as we join together in this prayer on page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodesho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron le'maaseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila le'mikra'ei kodesh zecher litziyat mitzrayim kivanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodeshecha be'ahava uv'ratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen.
You are welcome to be seated. We turn in our prayer book. I told you sometimes we choose things just because we really like them, right? We turn now to the top of page 11, a melody to welcome Shabbat, to bring us into the spirit, words of Dodi Lee from the Song of Songs on the top of the page.
Dodi li vani lo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi li mizotola min hamidbar mizotola min hamidbar.
Turning to a melody that may be a bit more familiar, we turn in our prayer books to pages 20 and 21 as we continue our welcome of Shabbat, words of Lecha Dodi.
La 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 Lecha Dodi, ya la 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 likrat kala, ya la 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 panei Shabbat, panei Shabbat nekabela, shamor vezachor b'dibur echad. Hishmiyanu el ha-meyuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet ve'litilah. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor haberacha, meirosh mikedem nesucha, sof mahaseh Shabbat Echila, ya la la Lecha Dodi, ya la la likrat kala, ya la panei Shabbat, panei Shabbat nekabela, hitoreri. Ki va'orech kumi uri shir daveri kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha Dodi, ya la likrat kala, ya la panei Shabbat, panei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom, ateret bala, gam b'simcha. Toch emunei am segula boichala ya la Lecha Dodi, ya la likrat kala. Ya la panei Shabbat, panei Shabbat nekabela.
As we continue our greeting, as we continue our welcoming this Shabbat, as you turn to one another, I would also invite you to share. Is there a particular melody? Is there a particular song that you just can't get out of your head? Once you have heard it, it could be something super silly like Baby Shark. It could be something so elevated as Dodi Li. Is there a melody that just sticks with you? when you leave services or when you leave something where there is a wonderful musical presence. Turn to one another, share that if you can think of it, wish one another a Shabbat Shalom. I hope it wasn't Baby Shark for everyone. As you finish your words of greeting, I invite you to again find your seats. We continue page 24 with words of Shalom Aleichem, welcoming the angels to be with us this Shabbat.
Before that, I want to talk a little bit about Shalom Aleichem. So when we sing music in synagogue, we don't often think about where the songs come from. All songs, somewhere down the line, come from composers. While there are traditional and folk melodies, such as the Hine Matov we sang at the very beginning of the service, that are sung in which the origin of the song is not known, much of that which is traditional was actually written by composers such as Louis Lewandowski, Max Janowski, or one of many other composers that created synagogue music in the 19th and 20th centuries. For example, the next prayer we are about to sing was composed by Samuel Goldfarb and is one that we know and love. However, it's important to know that just as much as a song is written by a composer, its legacy is often shaped by the people who sing the song. If you look at the sheet music for Shalom Aleichem, the suggested form is A-B-B-A rather than A-B-A-B, as it is near universally sung. I feel as though there might be mutiny if I sang Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom instead of Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom. All of this to say, while music is written by composers, what becomes part of the Jewish canon is decided by the Jewish people. Please join me on page 24 for Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Ba'achem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tzeitzchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei
Would you join me on the bottom of page 27? Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence.
Yitzgadal ve'yitzkadash shemei Rabbah Be'elam ha'divrach hirutei ve'amlich malchutei B'chayeichon v'yomeichon U'v'chayei techo Beit Yisrael V'gala v'gala U'v'zman kariv Ve'yimeru amen ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי קודשה בריחו, להילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירה ולמה, ואמרו Amen.
Our Baruch Hu praise continues on page 28. We would again invite you to rise if it is comfortable to do so.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
And together on page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chochma poteach she'arim uvitvuna mishaneh itim umachalif et hazmanim umsader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or uma'avir yom umevi layla umavdil bein yom uvein layla Adonai tziva'ot shemo El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. And on the bottom of page 33, wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works in the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, pages 34 and 35.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. When we sing Ve'ahavta, there is one particular way almost every synagogue on the planet sings it, even when we in the Reform movement omit certain parts of the full recitation as we explained in previous demystifying services. Why do we sing it this way? Why are there no significant alternatives in Hebrew for Ve'ahavta? The answer is simple. Ve'ahavta is Torah trope. Torah trope are symbols that we use in order to understand how to sing a portion of Torah, kind of like sheet music for the Torah. And why do we sing Torah rather than saying it? It's an ancient tactic to get us to understand what is being said and also to get us to stop and listen to the Torah portion. Torah is traditionally read on Mondays, Thursdays, and twice on Saturdays. The Jews chose to read Torah on Mondays and Thursdays because they were considered market days, and laners would come to the markets in town to read Torah to ensure all Jews could hear the Torah regularly. That trope is how it was chanted, and it was a tactic to get Jews who were running their errands to stop and listen. So too does the trope of Ve'ahavta make us stop, listen, and consider its message. Please join me in Ve'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha ubechol nafshecha ubechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom levavecha Veshirantam levanecha, vedivortam, veshivtecha bebeitecha, uvelechtecha vaderech, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
Would you join us in the English on page 41, opposite our Mi Chamocha praise? Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, norat tehilot, osei fele mi chamocha. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Music in the Reform movement has undergone a radical shift in the last 50 years or so. Thanks to the implementation and creation of camp music, most notably written by people like Debbie Friedman, Jeff Klepper, Dan Nichols, other similar artists. Camp music often combines Hebrew and English, making it easier for us to understand the message of the prayer that we are singing, and it's written to be easy to sing so that all can join. Before this kind of music was written, music in Reform synagogues was a listening experience rather than a joined-in singing experience. Most of the music in Reform synagogues in the early to mid-20th century was accompanied by organ and with large choirs. Now we have shifted to piano and guitar, with choirs being saved for special occasions, largely because of the influence of camp music on Reform music in general. Please join me in one of those camp pieces, Hashkivenu, on page 42. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamideinu shomreinu lechayim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamideinu shomreinu lechayim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamideinu shomreinu
continue on the top of page 44. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We continue now on pages 46 and following with the central portion of our worship this evening, our Shabbat Amidah. If it is comfortable for you to do so, we invite you to rise as together we join in prayer.
Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, ve'Konei HaKol, ve'Zocher Chastei Avot ve'Imahot, u'mevii geula lifnei bneihem, למען שמו ביהוה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, צומח נוכלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני יפר, מחמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
We continue silently through page 60, reciting the traditional words of prayer, singing the song that can only be found in our hearts. When you have finished your silent prayer, we invite you to be seated.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael et amcha Yisrael b'chol beit u'v'chol shah bishlomecha bishlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Tasim Leolam Leolam Leolam.
I will admit that is the song most frequently stuck in my head after services. It has made its way into Eli's bedtime routine. And while I may not be able to sing it quite as well, it is one of those beautiful melodies, more recent to our tradition, that continues to stick with me. We prepare now for words of Misha Berach Lecholim, In a moment, those words can be found on page 253.
One of the most well-known tunes to come out of the aforementioned camp era is Mishaberach by Debbie Friedman. While there are many other Mishaberach and other similar healing prayers out there, most of them written after Debbie Friedman's Mishaberach, Debbie's is by far the most common. Mishaberach was originally only recited during the Torah service, but Debbie Friedman reimagined what Mishaberach could be and made it part of all services. Though the Friedman Mishaberach may feel Sinai, as if it was around since Sinai, Debbie only released this setting in the late 1980s. Many people from the Boomer and even Gen X generations may remember a time before Debbie's Mishaberach, when this prayer was not recited at all on Friday nights. Now, it's standard to recite Mishaberach at every single service. And Debbie's reimagining of this prayer has sparked new innovation in Jewish prayer by modern composers, creating new and unique rituals out of tradition.
Indeed, it is hard to imagine a Friday night service without this prayer, and without the opportunity to bring to mind those of our loved ones, our family, our friends, those in our community who are in need of healing. There are so many in this world in need of healing of mind, of body, of spirit. And if you are comfortable to do so, I would invite you to share their names, not only that we might focus our prayers, but also our efforts and our energies to bring a sense of healing to each of them.
Beth, Rachel, and Jerry Pearl.
Jerry Wolf.
George Doug McKinney.
Erica.
John Paul Mahovsky, Robert Kalix.
The Ukrainian people.
Jennifer Pickles.
Caroline Reese.
Tova Gittel, Naomi.
Shirel Richmond.
Baruch atah Adonai rofeh hacholim. Blessed are you, God, who brings a measure of comfort to all who are ill. And together we say, Amen. Page 253.
Mishaberach avoteinu mekor haberacha leimoteinu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imoteinu mekor haberacha lavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Words of Aleinu L'Shabeach can be found on the bottom of page 282. Page 282, and as you find your page, we invite you to rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'teit gedula li'otzer b'reishit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot, ve'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, ve'gor aleinu ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
You're welcome to be seated. As we prepare for words of Kaddish Yatom, our mourner's prayer on page 294, we remember members of the community and our own loved ones who we miss this Shabbat. We observe the period of Shloshim for the recent passing of Jacqueline Wexler and mark the Yartzeit, the commemoration of the loss of Amber N. Abrams, Meyer Mickey Appelman, Carl Boehm, Donna Barron, Howard Barish, David Berkowitz, Rebecca Potter Burnson, Edith Bernstein, Leah Bloom, Dorothy Bronin, Emanuel Bukareski, Morton Sipley, Sam Eisenstadt, Sam Fabricant, Leona Fox, Pearl Frumkin, Harold Goldman, Francie Hausman, Arthur Hurwitz, Minnie Klein, Robert Louis Kozel, Nathan Lang, Charlotte Levin, Faye Levin, Rhoda Levine, Reuben Levine, A. Roy Lightman, Irene Simon Lossman, Samuel Markowitz, Leona Pober Marks, Miriam Olshansky, Blanca Perez, Esther Seltzer Recht, Sheila Rubin, Simpson Schechter, Leonard Scheinholtz, Francis Schumacher, Lena Rosen Schwartz, Jerome A. Seiner, Norman Shalan, Sadie Shapiro, Harvey Schulman, Mark B. Schulman, Michael Gerson Silver, Samuel Simons, Louise Tischler Stein, Jack Steiner, Ricky Sternheim, Esther Stiers, Marion Blattner Wine, Gloria A. Werner, and Mary Zoffer. If there are others whom you are remembering this Shabbat, or if I have inadvertently mispronounced the name of a loved one, I would invite you to share their names at this time. Rising in support that we might stand shoulder to shoulder in sympathy and in solidarity with those who mourn, we invite you to rise as we continue with words of Kaddish Yatom, praying that their memories remain with us in everlasting blessing on page 294. Yitgadal ve'yitkadash shemei rabbah be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael ba'gala v'zman kariv v'imru amen Yehi shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei amaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudshah barichu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. May God, who makes peace in the highest of heavens, make peace for us and for all who mourn. And together we say, Amen. You are welcome to be seated. On your way in, you likely noticed or you will when you go to grab a cookie after services, that we're doing a little bit of remodeling, that we've moved some of the furniture around, that we are preparing to renovate the space immediately outside of the Beit HaTfilah. New flooring, new walls, new ceiling colors. It's going to be a thing. And it means you're going to have to bear with us for a couple of weeks. We are optimistic that they are going to get this done in short order. And there is a chance that they're going to block off this space for us, depending on where they stop in any particular week. We will be certain to follow up with a congregational email whether our service, if it will not be in here, we will direct you to the right part of the building, or you are always welcome to show up at 7 o'clock on a Friday night, and we'll point you in the right direction when you get here. That being said, our own egg is still out in the foyer. You can understand why we want to do the renovations by looking around, grab a cookie, grab some coffee, look forward to the chance to continue the sacred community that we have built this evening. A special thank you to you, Cantor Kalix, for helping us demystify the fourth service in our service series. The links will all be online. If you missed one and you want to catch up, as always, feel free to ask any questions of either of us. But again, a special welcome. You're going to get tired of me saying it, but it's still special to us, so we're going to keep going with it. Thank you as well to Leslie Hoffman for helping those of you who have joined us in sacred community be with us online this evening. You understand a little bit more now, perhaps, about why we make some of the choices we do as service leaders, how we try to balance minhag hamakom, that which we are familiar with the composers of our tradition, with the newer melodies appealing to the next generation coming to us from camp, balancing the Hebrew and English, that which is singable and that which we get to sit back and listen to. And it all kind of goes out the window when it comes to be closing song time. Cantor Kalix and I sit around for the longest part of our weekly meeting, scratching our head, deciding exactly what would fit into this slot. Sometimes it's an oldie but a goodie, an Adon Olam, or an Ein Kelohenu, perhaps. And sometimes a melody just calls out to us. This one, perhaps a melody recognizing that this is the Torah portion where Moses starts to find his voice. And so there's something special about each of us finding ours, or perhaps a play on that which we have learned tonight, that our camp music, that the infusion of English can open doors and allow others into our service, even with those traditional melodies that may be a little bit more comfortable. You heard these words on your way in, and I hope you will join us as we sing our way out.
I will open my eyes, I will open my eyes, I will not look away, I will not look away. I will use this gift I've been given every day. I have a voice, my voice is powerful, my voice can change the world. I have a voice, my voice is powerful, my voice can change the world. Change the world. I will give of myself.
I will give of myself.
I will reach out my hand.
I will reach out my hand.
I will use this voice I've been given to take a stand. I have a voice, my voice is powerful, my voice can change the world. I have a voice, my voice is powerful, my voice can change the world. Change the world. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asanu b'tselem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asanu b'tselem Elohim. I have a My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. I will fight for the truth.
I will fight for the truth.
I'll stand up for what's right.
I'll stand up for what's right.
I will use this strength I've been given to be a light. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. My voice can change the world. My voice can change the world.
Let's make it happen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.